Okay, today we're going to talk about macromolecules, and we're going to do so in this graphic organizer. So not traditional written notes, but notes that kind of chunk information together in things that are related. So a macromolecule, macro in itself, means big. Right? And so we call these, large organic, and we'll talk about what that means in a minute, molecules. And they're made from smaller molecules. And we're going to go ahead and break down what all of that means in just a minute. And I'm going to actually work opposite how you normally read. So I'm going to start over here on the right with the word carbon. And so carbon, right, is a very important element to all living things. And so when we study carbon-containing compounds, we're studying what we call organic chemistry. Don't worry, we're not studying organic chemistry, but we do need to know a little bit about carbon and how it is a part of biology, because it really is it's the central element to biology. And so carbon has a really unique set of electrons. First it has 1, 2 here in the middle, and then it has 4 on the outside. And these 4 electrons make it adaptable. It can bond with lots of other elements. And so that's super important to us. And there are 5 other elements that are important to life. And you guys know a few of them: hydrogen and oxygen, right? And the combination of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen make up a lot of the foods that we eat. We know oxygen is what we inhale, but carbon dioxide is what we exhale. We also are concerned or pay attention to the element nitrogen. The next most important one would be this one called phosphorus. I like to call this guy's kind of the little unsung heroine, because phosphorus is in a lot of things, but doesn't get a lot of the credit that these carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen do. And then lastly, sulfur is important to us. And so if we look at these other words here, we've got polymer and monomer. And I'm going to start over with monomer. Mono means one. And mer means block. And so a monomer is a small building block that would be used, right, to make polymers. And so we're going to hear some big words here, but these will make sense as we move on to the next couple of parts of this macromolecules lesson. Words we might know, or monomers that we're going to need to know, are called monosaccharide, which is the building block of some sugar, amino acid, which is the building block of a protein, and nucleotides, which is the building block of DNA. And so when these come together, when they bond together to make much larger molecules, we look at these polymers. So these are excuse me, large molecules. Oh. Made from many, right? That's where the word poly comes from. Made from many monomers. In some of our examples, as we said over here, when these bond together, they make something like starch and proteins and things like DNA. Our largest word for today is the word called polymerization. Oh, yuck. And polymerization is when this happens, when these bond together to make these. We're going to save this last piece. You guys are going to come back and do this. This piece right here, you're going to do this later after you do the other 4 parts of the notes.